Hi everybody. Hope everybody's having a nice morning. Good start to the day, or good end to the day, depending on where you're at. It is a bit early here today. Let's see what time it's like. 6:15 Eastern time. Just working on a hat. It's been so much easier sleeping. Being inside. Got the garden really starting to roll now. Feels good. They have been really pushing the space stuff lately. Um, I don't know what it is. It's kind of crazy. They're contradicting themselves and from the same places. Um, one article from, I think it's physics.org maybe. Hey, how's the weather like there in Tennessee, man? It's beautiful down here. It's supposed to be up in the upper 60s today. Perfect gardening weather. I'm just waiting for the sun to come up. But yeah, I'm gonna get the garden. I can start planting here. It's crazy down here in southern Florida. You can start planting it like mid-January. You can start planting some of your stuff, which to me is just unheard of. There's usually still, the ground is still pretty frozen in January from where I'm from. Ooh, 34. That's chilly. Right now it's about 52 degrees down here. He said that about the week before I came down here, it got real cold, down in the 30s at night. The last time I camped in Texas, it got down to about 30 degrees. That was a bit chilly. Then as soon as I hit Florida, it was the low of 50 in northern Florida. Yeah, the sun is at its solar minimum, they're saying, right about now. And I have a source who watches the sun daily, and he says that there's no sunspots, there's no activity, he has a nice hydrogen alpha filter, and there's no solar flares or coronal ejections or anything like that. So the sun it does this. It's about every 11 years. It has its little cycle where it will kind of weaken, and then halfway through that cycle you get your solar maximum. I'd really like to I'm going to try to start doing hangouts today. I have a laptop here. I'm going to get it all set up so I can start having people on and inviting people to talk to, instead of just discussing things with the chat. Not that I don't enjoy that, but it's just a little easier, and not doing it with my phone. Make it a little bit nicer. No, I'm actually down in Florida. Yeah, no, a gentleman named Adam that I met at the convention. Um, we were just sitting there talking, and he's like, "Man, you should come out here. The weather's nice down here. I got a room in the back of the garage you could sleep in and this and that. And he's got his own garage here that he works on cars in, and he's going to teach me how to weld and do some general things with automobiles, and I'm going to teach him how to garden. Bill. I'm not sure who Bill is. But yeah, I'm going to teach him how to garden and how to can his food and all that kind of stuff. And it's going to be a good trade-off, I think. Knowledge and information sharing. Bill from Florida. Okay. Yeah, there's a couple people down here in Florida I'd like to get together with. Went out to the beach last night. Oh, just gorgeous. There's something about the Gulf of Mexico that it's just intoxicating. The smells, the noises. Had the night vision out. It was kind of a cloudy night, so we didn't see a whole lot of stars, but you can see for miles down that beach. It's a really, really beautiful place here, Florida. Um, saw a woodpecker that looked like Woody Woodpecker. He had the tail coming off the back of his head and everything. I had never seen one like that, and it was huge. It was a very big woodpecker. So yeah, there's a lot of new animals down here to take pictures of, and just should be a really interesting winter, a fun winter. I've already learned quite a bit. He has a wonderful family. They all love Zim. Or, sorry, Hank. Zim was my old dog. Miss him a lot still. They all love my Hanker Panker. He's such a good boy. Laying here right next to me. Gotta get him used to me not being around. We've been together every day for the last 5 months, except for when I was at the convention. So we gotta get him used to me not, me going off and working and stuff like that. It's just... But it's, yeah, I'm really enjoying it down here in Florida. I think maybe my sister might have sent my guitar down. She's mailing it today to me down here. That would be awesome. I miss it very much. Thank you. Yeah, I've always wanted to learn how to weld. I think it's a great skill to have. You can get a job in a lot of different areas knowing how to weld. So I'm definitely going to start spending some time doing that. I had a friend get a hold of me yesterday. I don't know if you all know her, No One's Flower, Nora Noon. Wonderful girl. Wonderful lady. She's got that fiery Irish side to her. It's great. But she's been arguing with some people lately about the force behind gravity. And what does gravity, why is up, up, and down, down? And there are some people that just say, oh, it's relative density. And that makes no sense to me. In my opinion, there has to be a force. Slow down, that's good. Yeah. Yeah, welding isn't something you can rush. But people saying that just density alone is going to make things rise or fall, and that makes no sense to me whatsoever. Maybe I'm missing something, but there has to be a force acting upon it to make denser objects go down through the air. In my opinion, at least. And they're still arguing about, oh, what holds us to the earth? What type of gravity? This or that or this or that. Now, at MIT, yeah, that's why I think how you said an opposite law. The whole thing to me is gravity has nothing to do with density or mass or anything like that. It all has to do with electricity, the electric field, where you have your positive and your negative. We have a positive, something creating a positive charge above our heads. There's something out there. The higher we go in the air, the more electricity is gathered per square meter. So they tell us, at least. Now, we know the ground has a negative charge to it. So to me, it just kind of makes sense that there's a flow of electricity from a positive to a negative, always. And this flow of electricity, it's not static electricity, it's not electromagnetism, it's just the electric field. And it's flowing from one source to another. And it is what causes up and down, in my opinion. I've done some experiments showing how this works. I've manipulated the field and put a negative plate on top and a positive on the bottom. Yeah, exactly, Stephen. It's like the Earth is just... I look at it as two pizza trays. One with a negative charge on the bottom and another positive charge on top. Walter Lewin from MIT, former physics professor, has some great... he's got so many lectures here on YouTube that are from his MIT physics course at MIT. They just explain so much. They help you understand how electricity works, even on different shapes. I went and bought a Van de Graaff generator just to be able to duplicate a lot of the tests and observations that he makes. I think it's maybe the first 5 or 6 lectures are just... it's like a gold mine, a treasure trove of information on how things work in nature. He goes over Coulomb's law and Gauss's law and things like that, and he is an excellent teacher. He really is. He can explain things and show you things so, a child could understand it. That's how you know when you have a good teacher. When a teacher can teach it to a young child and they don't have any trouble understanding it. They don't need big fancy words. I've learned a lot from Walter Lewin. Even though he refuses to discuss the shape of the earth, he's come out quite adamantly and talked about it a couple times. It's It's a shame. I don't understand why discussing it and talking about it is such a bad thing. There's a lot to be learned. And maybe, I don't know. I don't like saying, oh, well, he was shut up and he was quieted and this and that and yada yada yada. I'm not even gonna go there. I would like to think he is smart enough and understand. Yeah, Walter Lewin he's an amazing teacher. I think he has Parkinson's. He's getting up there in age, but he still makes YouTube videos, which is really cool. He's still teaching people, and he gives out questions and quizzes all the time. He loves to teach. That's for sure. You can absolutely see that in him, that he is a teacher. True blue. Oh, Skype. Just working on a hat. It's almost Christmas. This is going to be the first Christmas I think I've spent away from my family in quite some time. I don't think a Christmas has gone by that I wasn't up there. But change is good for everyone. It's the one constant in all of our lives, is that everything changes. I was playing with a water electrolyzer the other day. We actually went and got a few different types of bottled water. We're going to do some more testing. But his city water, something was in the water and it started having a reaction to separating the water molecules from all the other molecules, and it started putting off heat so much that it melted a little plastic cup. Now, I've never seen that happen before, and we retested the device, the tester, after that happened with well water, and it didn't melt the cup at all. It was fine. So we're going to try something like that again today, and I don't know, that really scared him. He's been buying a lot of city water. Yeah, it was tap water. And the tap water, I could see steam coming off it. I was like, whoa, that thing's putting off some heat. And he grabbed his thermometer, and I think the highest reading we got was 160 degrees, while the tap water was remaining right around 80 degrees. So it was double. But it actually melted the cup and spilled over. It might be my second to last video that I put up. Yeah, it was eye-opening to say the least. He kind of freaked out. He's like, I'm not drinking that water ever again. It's not like I want to scare people with this stuff. I wasn't expecting that to happen. I just wanted to show them all the black stuff in the water. And yeah, it started melting cups. Yeah, you don't really know until you know, huh? What exactly is in your drinking water. I was out in New Mexico in the Lincoln National Forest, a little town, or was that? Ruidoso, it was called. And just north of Ruidoso. I forget what highway that is there. But It's called Bonito Lake and Bonito Stream. And I was up the mountain, probably about 7,000 feet elevation, somewhere around there. And I tested some of the water up there, and it was cleaner than the reverse osmosis water that you could buy in town at the water filter place. It had less particulates in it. And this was coming just out of a stream, rolling down a mountain. Beautiful place. I got to get a lot of those pictures out. But just gorgeous apple trees, wild apple trees all over the place. Lots of pine trees. But the water was so pure and clean. Just running right out of a mountain. Yeah, like the Fiji water and Ice Mountain, and I haven't tested Evian. Fiji was disgusting though. That had the most amount of nasty black stuff floating around in it when it was all said and done. It didn't start bubbling to where it created heat and melted anything, but a thick layer of black slime, it looked like, pretty much. Yeah, it's amazing what you don't see in your water because it dilutes in there. It's still dark out. I keep on forgetting that it's December with the weather being as warm as it is. To me, it feels like it's September, October, sometime around there. No, the desert was an amazing place. I really enjoyed New Mexico. Arizona, I enjoyed. It was a different view. The deserts of California were okay. But it just wasn't for me. Beautiful sights to see and all that, but I've been looking for that place to stay warm in the wintertime. And the desert nights get real cold. Really, really cold. I wasn't expecting that. And they have horrible winds that come through. They'll be like 30, 40 mile an hour. Just straight winds, not gusts, but winds. Which makes for not fun camping nights, I found. Having stuff blown all over the place, stakes ripped out of the ground. Now it's nice taking off my wandering shoes for a little bit and just settling down. Hank's been such a good boy. It's it's a good thing. I love teaching. He's got a little girl. She's about 4. Beautiful little girl who's just asks so many questions. Well, why? Well, what's this? Well, why? Well, why? I love that about little kids. They just want to learn so much, and they're little sponges. I was teaching her about setting up your garden. Why we get rid of all the old roots and all the old leaves and stems from above ground, and how the plant above ground is the exact same in part of the plants that are below ground. They're just, different. Like we have feet and legs and a torso and a head and arms. Well, plants have roots and a stem and leaves and flowers, and just explain to her how plants have their own little, you know, their bodies as well. But yeah, I'm gonna really work on getting a live stream hangout going to where I can invite some people on. I'd like to get the Plain Truth on, have a chat with him. He's been wanting to do that. But I'd love to speak with people about gravity, because people calling other people shills or disinfo agents for not agreeing with them, I think that's a little ridiculous. I don't agree with that at all. Especially over something so nonsensical as, oh, well, density just makes things go down. I think there's more to play with what's going on. So we'll see. We'll see if we can't get it sorted. But I'd like to have this conversation with Travis for sure. Because I've explained it to other people. And I don't understand how just something being dense would force it in a certain direction. That doesn't make sense to me at all. That's just me though. Exactly, Stephen. It's a divide and conquer technique, it seems like. But no, the whole mass attracting mass and all that nonsense. I don't buy into any of that. I don't buy into the bending of space-time and yada yada yada, all the Einsteinian gravity. And it's so much more simple than that. I even pointed out where to find the information. I mean, if you go to Walter Lewin's 802 Lecture 1 on electricity and magnetism, his very first lecture on it, Lecture 1, right around 40 minutes in, he'll explain to you that atomic energy holds everything together on the quantum level. You know, atoms, things like that. There's that they don't understand. They don't understand the strong nuclear force or the weak nuclear force, how it's created, why it happens. We don't know. And then on the atomic level, our level, you know, the Earth and everything is held to it for thousands of kilometers by electricity. And then not until you start talking about planets and moons and suns and solar systems, that's when gravity comes into place. When you start talking about things that you've never measured. All theoretical nonsense. The lights above our head. That's when gravity comes into play. And that's it. And so many people get that mixed up and apply gravity to what is holding us to the earth when it is not. And mainstream science even says this. Maybe not in the ignorant articles and this and that and yada yada yada. But most of those articles are about space. They're about space, which is where gravity is supposedly taking effect and taking place. But gravity was designed just to explain what goes on up there. once they figured out about, I'm telling you, there's so much to learn about the electric field. Well, it took almost 2 years for people to start using the word diffraction. So we'll see how long it takes for them to start discussing the electric field. I heard the nonsensical word refraction for 2 years, trying to pull out hair I didn't have. Was trying to get the word diffraction out there as to why the bottoms of things disappear. And it took some time, but people are finally catching on. Hopefully we'll be doing a something this Friday on Iron Realm. I wrote a mathematical formula, equation, if you prefer, to show how you calculate how much would be cut off, the minimum at least, along the bottom, or along your horizon line, your line of sight, when looking out over the water. It's pretty sound. It needs to be tested, but testing, I mean, it's the minimum because it was tested in a pure nitrogen oxygen based atmosphere. So as soon as you start throwing things into it, as soon as you start throwing atmosphere and dust particulates and wind blowing and things like that, temperature changing, things get kind of crazy with it. Yeah, it's not coming out too bad. This thicker hemp is so much harder to work with though. Oh, I can't wait to, I'm looking for gardeners down here in Florida. So if you know of anybody that might live down here south of Tampa who has a garden or knows about gardening down here, that's the best way to learn, is to go and find people that actually apply it and ask them what they do, when they plant, what they plant, how much water they use, how often they need to water, what they do with their soil. We have a pretty good connection on some horse manure, which is, it's solid gold when it comes down to it. Horse manure it's just got so many nutrients and enzymes and things like that that your plants love, and it helps break down the soil. And yeah, I love horse manure. Cow manure is not bad, but for some reason I stick with the horse manure. I always have. And his father just happens to board horses, so we can come over and get as much manure as we want. That's just great. I can't wait to start teaching them all about how to put your plants in the ground. And I'm going to be planting potatoes here real soon. Potatoes, carrots, onions. gonna do some broccoli this year. I've never grown broccoli before, but I'd like to put in some berries for them. I don't know how well the blackberries and raspberries grow down here. I know there's certain types that you can get. I had a Brazilian blackberries that didn't have any thorns on them. They were really good. So I'm sure there's some kind of berries that grow down here. It's got some really neat nut trees next door. The guy says we can pick them. I didn't realize how many different types of pine trees there were either. Some that drop little nuts, some that drop coconuts, some that drop this type of berry. So there's a lot of vegetation I'm going to be learning down here. Stuff like that. It's exciting. I mean, the difference between southern Florida and northern Florida is like almost like night and day. The plant life and everything. So I got a lot to learn while I'm down here. A lot of new things to discover. Bubba, what are you doing? Give me that. You give me that. Oh, you're handsome. You guys want to say hi to Hank this morning? There he is. There's that big boy. You being a big boy, huh? Yeah. Yeah, he's a comfortable guy. What are you doing? What are you doing? You big handsome. Oh, he's such a good boy. Hey, Mike, good morning. It's always wonderful to see you in chat. I was thinking about you yesterday. Had a peanut butter and jelly sandwich. I was thinking, this would probably be good with some honey on it. But I hope everything's treating you well out there. Good. Oh, wonderful. Yeah, not talking about too much. Just getting settled in here and getting the garden going. Oh, wonderful. Yeah, the weather is beautiful down here. It's going to be in the 60s today. Only got down in the 50s last night. I'm really looking forward to getting some more of the garden stuff done here. Had a little fire going yesterday, burning up all the roots that I'm pulling out where the garden's going to be. Trying to get them all nice and turn into some good white ash so I could put right back into the soil. Yeah, it's the hardest part, the first. Not really even weeding, but de-rooting your garden. A lot of people will just till it under. Just keep on tilling everything and break the roots up and stuff like that. I go through with a shovel, turn it all over, get it nice and loose, and then pull out every root that I can. It makes weeding later on in the season that much easier. It just makes it so the weeds, a root, you pull out the top part and the root can still grow a plant. Plants are pretty resilient and hardy, and they're amazing. So you want to try and remove the whole thing. And I'm out there talking to them all, telling them how I apologize for removing them from where they are. And I just explained to them, we're going to be using this bit of land here to make our own food. We're going to put new plants in. And I apologize for having to burn them and purify them with fire. But I let them know that they're going to be a part of these new plants that we're putting in. And then in turn, we're going to take those plants and join them within our bodies. And then they will become part of us. And when we die, it will be returned to the earth or wherever we go. And I like to think that the consciousness of those plants understand what I'm saying. So all that fear and anxiety and almost hatred, they don't carry that with them. They can let that go. They understand now why things are being done. I used to remember I didn't understand why the Creator did certain things and allowed certain evil things to take place and this and that. And I used to be mad at the Creator for it. And now I realize how silly I was. It's all, a learning experience. We're supposed to be learning from all this stuff. Yeah, it's just how it goes. I'm going to do some counting here. Let's take this apart a little bit. Yep, I messed up somewhere. Oh, I see what I did. That'll be an easy enough fix. So yeah, but eventually, I'd really like to start talking about gravity. Because there's a lot of people hung up on that. We need some clarification on what gravity is and how it works, and yeah, I think people need they need to go and watch the Walter Lewin videos. They explain so much, and it's explained so a child could understand it, because he goes off talking about a lot of his mathematics and stuff like that, and I don't understand any of it. I'm not gonna lie, math is way beyond me. I just don't. I've never been taught it. I'm sure I could learn it and understand it, but math is almost like another language. It is another language. And I understand a little bit of it. But they start getting into this equation and this equation and this equation put together does this and that and yada 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 and epsilon zero and all this. I don't know. made to, like, define reality, I guess, but it doesn't make reality. Math doesn't have to be correct, even though it could add up. In reality, that might not be exactly how it all works. But this whole idea about, I've heard this term, and like I said, maybe I just don't get it, but relative density causing up and down, that just makes no sense to me. And there's been some discussions, quite a few discussions for quite a while now about this topic and what causes gravity, what causes things to go down and things to rise up. And I think people are just making it more difficult than it needs to be. There's a lot of people out there trying to make it so so their theory is the correct one. And I don't know. It's this is one of those things, I don't know if we're ever going to have it truly figured out. We don't have the capability of even measuring the true electric field, in my opinion. I believe it's all done with math. When you start adding things like water, distilled water into the air, if you don't know, distilled water is the greatest insulator of electricity that we know of. Pure water doesn't conduct electricity. It's actually a better insulator than thick rubber or glass or anything like that. It's amazing. And people need to realize that. They need to understand that. It's one of those things that needs to be shouted from the rooftops, I think, because not enough people are aware of this. So trying to measure an accurate reading of the electric field of Earth with all the water and all the different particulates and all these different, you would have to get very far away, I believe, to actually measure it. And then you would need a wire connected to the ground to measure the electrical, the difference. The electric, oh, I'm having a brain fart. I just don't think it can be done, measuring the electric field properly. The electric potential from one surface to wherever it is up in the air, in the atmosphere. Because they say right here at ground level, we get about 100 volts of electricity per square meter in the air. And the higher you go, they say the higher that gets, the more electricity is up there. And my big question was, well, how do you hanker-panker? Hey, what's up, Flat Earth Dude? Volume up. I can put my headphones in if it's hard to hear. Yeah, I'm gonna be hooking up my getting the laptop running today too. Hopefully be starting some of my own hangouts. But yeah, I'll come over on Ponchos. Is he about? Oh, I felt like an idiot last time I went on there. I think that was right around Thanksgiving. I was a little intoxicated playing a song that I wrote. And just murdering it. It was pretty bad. Ooh, the sun's coming up. Starting to. Gonna go do some business. Let's see. Oh. Whoa, whoa, shaking it out. There he is. There he is. Oh my goodness. Oh, you ready to go do some business? We're gonna take him outside. I'll show you guys my new classroom, I guess you call it. Where I'm gonna learn and I'm gonna be able to teach people all about gardening. Okay, Bubba, I'm coming. Yeah, Daddy's coming, huh? Okay, let me get through here. It looks like rain again, maybe. There was no call for it, but we'll see what happens. Yeah, I'm just burning up a lot of the old wood and stuff like that. Get the cardboard and stuff, but here's where it's all gonna happen, take place. Some coffee grounds, but the dirt here is just amazing. Nice, thick, dark dirt. It's got a lot of sand mixed into it. See, this is the stuff I'm pulling out right here. All these the roots. Then I get that out of here and then I burn it all. Yeah, right there. We'll be getting rid of this car here. Told me he could leave it, no big deal. Got plenty of room. Probably going to be doing a little bit of composting right here. And this whole big area is going to be nothing but a garden. You're going to back along the fence or maybe over there. It's a lot of work, but you can create so much food with just a little bit of room. Yeah, I'm excited. I miss my garden so bad. A little bit of chill to the air this morning, but it's not too bad. Probably in the 50s. But yeah, just gorgeous out here. I love Florida winters. I hear their summers can be rough, but I like the hot and humid. I've worked in factories most of my life where they're 120 degrees and humidity. So the heat really doesn't bother me all too bad. Let's see. Hi, Bubba. Well, come here. Well, hi there. Well, hi there. You saying? Oh, you're a sweetheart. Oh, you're a big old sweetheart. You showing off your lovin's? You showing off those lovin's that you give? Oh, thank you. Well, thank you. Yeah, he's a good boy, huh? He's a good big boy. I mean, it's about ready. Probably time for his breakfast. Oh, are you still giving loves? Are you still giving? Let me get that booger. Come here. Let Dad get that booger. Oh, my goodness, that's a big one. Thank you. Thank you. Boogers. Oh my goodness, you're so sweet. So sweet. Oh yes you are. Oh yes you are. You gonna say hi? You gonna say hi everybody? Are you saying hi everybody? Are you just saying hi everybody? What are you doing? What are you doing? You rolling, showing that belly? You showing off that belly with those big old belly legs? Yeah. You're so cool. Yeah, he's a good boy. Couldn't ask for a better co-pilot than this guy right here. Oh, got booger too. Daddy wants those boogers. Yes, I got some. Yes, I got some. So handsome. Oh, bless you. Yeah, he had his first. I didn't know that. Down here in Florida, they'll let you walk through Menards and Lowe's and places like that they don't sell food. Hank's allowed to go. And then when we were in Dallas, he went into his first elevator at my buddy's apartment complex. Huh. You just a well-traveled guy, huh? See, I just don't do national forests and parks. I also do apartment buildings and shopping centers. He did so good too. Didn't even attempt to lift his leg once. It was real nice. Wasn't barking at nobody. Just being a good boy, huh? Yeah, I know. I know. Like he was meant to do all that stuff. And we took him out to the beach, even though it said no dogs. He was walking around there, the only dog around. Yes, he was. Hanging out. Yeah, he's a good boy. He really is. I'm so proud of how well he's been on the road. It makes life easier. At first, it was rough. Because he had an acre and a half all fenced in. That was like what he protected. And that acre and a half went to, a 30 by 30 camping spot where people are walking, 20 feet away all the time. And he's really, yes, you have, huh? He's really learned to just allow that. That, okay, I know that they're not here to bother us. $54 degrees right now. I can do 54. But I think I'm going to get rolling out here. I think Nathan's coming on. Might not be for a little while. I'm going to give Ma a call, though. I know she'll be leaving for work here in a little while. I always give her a buzz in the morning. I'm just so used to it now. While I was out there wandering, she liked when I called her in the morning. So it's just become one of those rituals. I used to call her on my way to work. But yeah, I might get Hank his good stuff, his wet food that goes with his dry food. Big spoiled baby. Yeah, I'll finish up that hat later, probably in another hangout. And then, I don't know, probably gonna start doing hangouts now. That'll be cool. Being able to have people come on and join the panel and all that kind of stuff. We'll be talking about whatever people want to talk about. But yeah, I'll definitely get a hold of you guys on ponchos after I get Hank fed and some food in my belly, and maybe get a shower in this morning. All that kind of good stuff. But I'll definitely get a hold of you guys over there in Ponchos. Now that I got Wi-Fi again. So yeah, thank you guys for joining me. It's been kind of a dull morning. Not too much going on. Kind of early. But we'll start, I think I might start doing this every day. Hey, Constance. How you doing, sweetie? You too, man. Have a good one. Hopefully I'll see you over there in Ponchos. I'm sorry, Constance, sweetie. I'm getting ready to head out right now. Gotta get some food in Hinker's belly. You wanna say hi, Constance? You wanna say hi, Constance? Oh my goodness, you going upside down? Are you going upside down? You getting belly rubs? You getting belly rubs? Oh my goodness, you getting the belly rubs? Yeah. Yeah, you be handsome. Yeah, he is a big sweet baby. He's a big sweet baby, huh? Yes, he is. He's a good big boy. Daddy loves him, huh? Yeah, he's ready for his good stuff, I'm sure. But thanks, guys. I'll be doing hangouts here real soon, and I will definitely see you over there on Ponchos. All right, dude. So everybody, have a wonderful morning, evening, afternoon, wherever it is. Wonderful day. And I love y'all. And I will see you guys here soon. Good times for all signing out. As always, thanks for watching.